Okay, we're shifting gears for a moment. I'm stepping away from Reaper into note flight here for a second, and I want to talk about something called integer notation, which is going to be useful for us in certain contexts when we're dealing with scales that are not major or minor or diatonic scales. These are symmetrical scales, atonal pitch materials, and that's going to be some of what we're doing in the very early going. So I want to introduce this early. There's a very simple idea to integer notation. This is not something you would ever use for reading music. It's purely analytical, but it helps us talk about pitch classes, and it basically goes like this. We are going to assign a number to each of the 12 pitch classes, right? So C is going to be 0, always. That will never change, right? And C sharp is going to be 1. Sorry about that. D will be, sorry, I know, oh, my cat is on the keyboard. That's what's going on there. D will be 2. D sharp will be 3. E will be 4. F will be 5. F sharp will be 6. G will be 7. G sharp will be 8. A will be 9. And the last two are a little interesting. A sharp is 10, but I do not want to write 1, 0 because that's going to be confusing. It might mean C sharp, C. So we're going to use the letter for 10, which is T. And same thing with B. I don't want to write 1, 1. Sounds like maybe 2 C sharps in a row. So we're always going to call this E. And then back to 0. Now, just a couple of things to note. One thing that's nice about this is it doesn't matter how these notes are spelled, right? I am not changing my numbers if this is D flat or C sharp. It's just 1. So it's nice when we get into these scales that are not tonal scales to have a way to talk about the members of the scale without having to specify or think about C sharp or D flat or what is the spelling. I strongly recommend you take a little while and just memorize these 12 pitch class correspondence. And when I say pitch class, I mean that all of these notes, let's go here. These are all members of the pitch class C, or for our purposes, these are all zeros, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, T, E, 0. We're going to be using that as we start talking about octatonic scales and hexatonic scales and whole tone scales, which are going to fuel our very first composition projects. So learn it. Thank you.